Show, the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show. They clean up nicely. It's the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show. Yeah, they clean up nicely. Yeah.
Hello. We are back. Drew and Fuse Show. We have a returning guest. As you can see, Jay Spring is back joining us here today.
Thank you guys.
We were talking. Yeah. We're excited to have you back on. And I don't want to forget, so I want to jump right. We were talking right as we, before we started this recording. You asked what's new, and we were talking about that. So why don't we just restart that conversation?
Drew, what's new with you, Drew?
Let's just do it. We'll do it live. It's just like we were talking about it regularly. Get my head drilled out. So I have terrible sleep apnea. It's we talked about it last week, we talked about it one of these weeks recently, and I haven't been drinking all year because my sleeping got so terrible that I was waking up every hour, and I'd be on the computer and I'd just fall asleep while I was doing it, and I just wasn't productive at all. So I just stopped drinking, and then I went and saw the doctor, and he's like, you should get a sleep test. And I said, listen, doc, we need to go more extreme with that. I feel like that's like a temporary fix. And not that I won't do it if this doesn't work, but I want to be able to fucking breathe. And so we did some MRIs and everything, and I have a deviated septum. So at first, this was 2 months ago, it was supposed to get done inpatient, which means you go to the doctor's office and they numb you and then drill your shit out. And so I went there and I was like, wow, that sounds really aggressive. Can I talk to the doctor real quick? Because I signed this form and it said, you may die. And I was like, it was so much. The doctor comes in and he like re-looks at me again. And he's like, I kind of misjudged this. I'm going to send you in for an MRI. Well, it turns out it's way worse than that he thought it was. So they're putting me under and they're drilling my head out. I'll be out for like a week. I'm really looking forward to it because I just snore so bad and I can't sleep. So just need to get it done. And I know this affects every other DJ. And both of you guys were saying that it's kind of like something you're thinking about. So I'm just bringing it up, If you guys are having a hard time sleeping or it's affecting you, you should definitely go look into it because, with our style of life with working nights, it's tough. Your sleep schedule's fucked up already. So,
I mean, I was more hoping to take like a pill or something than whatever that is that you're getting. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely the sleep thing has definitely messed me up over the last however many years. I was telling you before, like I felt like I could be so much more productive, and I know you said the same thing. It's tough, like to work on DJ stuff. Like, I mean, I'm not talking about like making a crate for like the night you're playing, but to actually do like bootlegs and that kind of stuff, you have to be in a decent frame of mind to do it. And if you're tired, that's tough. And I feel like I'm tired way too much.
Yeah,
often.
It's funny. I'm getting, a good amount of texts from close ones about tomorrow. And I'm like, maybe I should be more concerned because
is it a serious surgery? Is it considered something?
I'm not worried about it one bit because at this point I need to breathe and I don't give a fuck. Like there's so many episodes back. I can't remember which one it was, but I talked about this time I was in Nashville and Theo Vaughn, I got bumped up to first class. Theo Vaughn comes up and sits next to me and is just shaking me because I might as well have been shaking the entire first class of how bad I was snoring. And he comes up and he's like, bro, are you alive? Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, ugh. And so I had to try my hardest to stay awake because I was snoring so bad. And even on this last trip home, I was coming back from New York this weekend and coming back, the lady just kept bumping me and waking me up, the stewardess. And I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for this to happen. Like I can't breathe. It's not my fault, and I don't really give a fuck. Put your AirPods in if you got a problem, but I paid for this ticket.
I've been snoring really bad. The wife obviously hates it, and I went to the doctor recently. My primary doctor then referred me to a sleep doctor, and I went for like the first visit, and I go back next month, and they'll give me all the stuff to go home with to do an at-home sleep study. And the reason that letting me do it at home is because we don't sleep normal hours. So like their sleep in office sleep studies are like for people that wake up at 6 a.m. and go to sleep by midnight or whatever. And like we don't do that at all. So it doesn't work for us. But
I almost don't think that would even work though, right? Because I wouldn't want to go in. I feel like my sleep would be more fucked up going in this, like,
right.
Unless it's like a spa where it's like candles and Enya playing.
Well, one of the things
be fucked up anyways.
I thought was most interesting when I saw my primary doctor and I first brought it up, he was like, all right. And he gets out the thing and he like looks in your mouth and he's like, yep. All right. Going to refer you to a sleep specialist. Well, apparently like your esophagus, they have like a rating scale for how like open it is. Right. And it's 0 to 4, 0 being like you have a perfectly clear breatheway, and it's all just based on your anatomy. It's not like based on really anything other than that. Now, if you're heavily obese, that can like affect it more, but generally speaking, it's just basic anatomy. And he was like, you're basically a 4. He was like, you have like a very small breathing way or whatever. And he was like, so and as you've gotten older, it's probably just gotten worse. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing,
In general, is snoring a sign of that you need something done if you want to sleep better?
From my understanding, it's not just snoring. It's like how bad you're snoring. And then both Drew and I do this thing where you like
that's the sleep apnea.
Yeah, you wake yourself up. It's like you're choking on like, and you're waking yourself up.
You can't breathe. So your breath stops, which could lead to heart attack. And
yes, and that's what I was just
get really bad.
So one of the biggest concerns from it all is your body, your heart rate doesn't drop down as low when you're sleeping, which means that your body's working overtime essentially, and that increases your risk for heart attack and like the long list of things. And so the goal is to sleep better because you want your heart to not work as hard when you're sleeping. That's when your body actually gets like real rest. So I wear this Oura ring, and honestly, it's funny because like it shows, and Drew and I talk about this all the time, especially because he hasn't been drinking, how bad alcohol is for you and like how it affects your sleep and how it basically intensifies all the things that, we're talking about right now. Yeah.
So we're laughing about it, but yeah, it's serious. If you got a problem, just go see your doctor. I mean, turns out we all should.
I didn't realize that snoring was such a health risk.
All sleep. It's amazing. Basically, when you start looking into it more and you really start paying attention to your body, and like for me, the ring was like the first step. Like, okay, what did I do today? I woke up. I got 8 hours of sleep. I felt good. I worked out. And then like then the next day it's like, oh, you worked out yesterday. You did this. You didn't drink. You can like compare all your like what you did to like what you are doing. And it really makes a big difference.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. But it sucks because I want to have fun. I like drinking alcohol and having fun, but I've definitely dialed it back a ton because it's just, I like all the things that I'm doing too. So I enjoy doing those, and I enjoy, like you mentioned, like it's hard to be in the right headspace to like make edits and like bootlegs and just overall be creative. And I like doing those things. So it's like the better I can make myself feel and the more like productive I can be with that stuff, the more I feel like, wow, I got a lot done. And I like feeling that way.
Everything you're saying, I want to add to it. I want to tell you my frame of mind for having to stop drinking. One, it came down to sleep. was just way too important to me. I was waking up every hour and I wasn't sleeping. And so one thing had to go. And as I went down the checklist of all the things of what I needed to fix, it was always like, oh yeah, alcohol's that problem. Alcohol's that problem. Alcohol's that problem. So I was like, all right, alcohol, this is going to be tough, but we'll be back at some point. And so I gave it up for health reasons. And I had to retrain my mind because turns out I like the alcohol. It's my friend. And I had to retrain my mind to think differently about it. And the way I've been thinking about it is everything Fuse said, but to put it just the dumbest possible way is I had to retrain my brain to love the day life and the actual like living part instead of like the fun at night. So I'm living for the whole day instead of like the 2 hours that I was drinking.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I've never actually been a big drinker. My sleep problem just happens all on its own. But yeah, I mean, the more hours you could be productive during the day, and that's always tough for me is finding time actually during the day before I DJ, like because I've been actually working a decent amount. And it's sometimes you look at the day and you feel like it doesn't even, for me, I feel like it doesn't even count until I start
Right.
DJing, and I just waste that all that time
Right.
before that. Um, so the more hours you can be productive during the day, that's huge.
Well, we're gonna get into some productivity. I did. We'll change the subject a little bit, light it up. Actually, you've been making a planning schedule. I don't even know what this word is, but I've been writing out like my days and trying to check them off. So that's something I'm doing. And this is number one on the checklist is today. And
Well,
there
it
it
is,
is.
9:45 in the morning for you too while
Yeah.
we're recording this. So
Yeah.
it's up and early for you.
Yeah. Well, let's get our orders of operations out of the way. So we got some announcements here.
Oh, yes. So if you guys haven't heard, we launched a Patreon, and you can support that Patreon, and it's going to help support the show. We had been hemming and hawing about it for a long time, and we finally decided to do it. It's $9.99. It's as much as Drew's daughter spends on one cup of coffee at Starbucks. And
by the way, I didn't tell you, and you were on mute, but she flipped you off when I told her what it was, and I'm like, "Is this a new thing where you're just flipping me off?" And so yeah, she got out of the car this morning. I said something to her. She flipped me off. I was like, I mean, I appreciate it because I know who my kid is, but it was also funny. I was like, well, fuck you. And I just laid on the horn as I was driving down the street. It's like, oh,
was
back.
it you that compared when a kid, or was it somebody else? They said when your kid hits 16, it's like the sun like going around the moon, right? Or whatever. And like the moon blocks out the sun for a while. And then eventually it comes back around once it hits like 21. But from the time from 16 to 21, they hate you.
No, it wasn't even a hate one. It was just like a flip off of like, I don't even understand. I don't know how to explain it. There's no hate. It was all love in the flip off. So I was all right with it.
So getting back to it, the Patreon, we have it $9.99. It's we're gonna call it the Fiona special because it's $9.99.
No, it's the bootleg. It's the bootleg pioneer.
Perfect. All right, the bootleg pioneer, and basically we are releasing exclusive bootlegs on there that you can't get on DMS. So the ones that don't go on DMS go on the Patreon. And when we talk music episodes, some of the music that we talk will be available for download, as well as here and there where you release our own edits to stuff as well. And Drew's been doing a mix, a weekly mix, so you get the full track list of that mix too, and it's a little more eclectic. So when you're digging, instead of digging, you just get the full list as well.
Oh, and you can hear how I'm mixing it too. So live it up.
Yeah. So, and then if you're not on DMS already, the promo code Drew and Fuse Show will get you 30% off your first month of activation. You should already be signed up for that. There's no need to really keep talking why, but
so I want to do a little introduction here. This is Jay Spring. He was a co-host of one of our favorite fucking like pre YouTube. What are we saying?
it was like
No,
You're on
YouTube, but it was like
but
early days of YouTube, like unforgivable days of YouTube, like where that video went viral.
And it was called Remix Report, and he helped out young DJs like me and Fuse. We learned a lot from just listening to like the remixes that you would talk about, the edits you would talk about, and how you mix them. And that's kind of what this episode is talking about. And we were just saying how, yeah, we were young DJs coming up, and it's a good way to learn, seeing other people, how they mix, right? You're gigging a lot out there. How is your gigs going? And are you headlining? What's going on out there?
I think I told you guys on the last time I was here that I had made the switch from Foxwoods, working for a Big Night Entertainment Group, and I went over to Mohegan Sun. Now I'm with Lions Group, and yeah, everything's worked out really well. I'm at a place called Vista a lot, which is a very unique venue. It's hard to even describe it, but it's a really, really cool spot. And it's a place that people who go there really enjoy it. There's also a big nightclub in Mohegan called Avalon, which they recently just had Anthony Pisano. I believe he's from Miami. He was there recently. DeVille was there recently. So I've been doing that every so often as well. And things are going very well there. I can't complain at all. Been very busy.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
How many nights a week on average are you playing?
So Vista is open 7 days a week. I've been doing even 3 or 4 nights a week there.
Oh, wow.
And that's one of those things where I'll have like a crazy Saturday night, and then there could also be like Mondays, like a lounge night where I don't know if you guys have ever, if there's any casinos in your areas at all.
There are, but I don't play
it could change day to day. You could be there on a Monday, but there could be a big convention there. You never know what you're gonna get. But it's one of those gigs. I mean, there's some chill Mondays or Tuesdays there, and those nights kind of help you as a DJ playing for smaller crowds. So that's something I still enjoy. Even playing for a smaller crowd like that, it still kind of helps you out.
And music wise,
very eclectic. There could be there was an Earth, Wind and Fire show at the casino in the arena, and then I DJ'd at Vista afterwards, and it was that crowd. So I played pretty much all disco all night. I was there this past Saturday, and that's a younger crowd for the most part. Still a bit mixed. I mean, younger, you get in the early 20s all the way up to 40s, and maybe a few older than that as well. Like I said, it's an open air casino spot. And this place has definitely made me
open air. What is that?
Just meaning that it's not like in a room. Like it's just like you can actually, people downstairs who are playing the slots can hear what's going on in there. There's no walls. So it's open air. It is somewhat enclosed a little bit, but there's no ceiling. So the rest of the casino, when they walk by, they can see and hear what's going on.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I play from time to time at it's a Hard Rock now. It's went through 3 brand changes, but now it's a Hard Rock, and I play there every once in a while, and it's just at the bar in the middle of the casino, and it's so bizarre. I used to do it all the time. In 2015, I was there from probably 2015 until 2017 or 2018, around then. I did every Friday and every other Sunday there, and I got sick of it. I couldn't do it anymore just because the crowd. It was a lot like what you described in terms of like the shows could determine a little bit what the crowd would be, but in general, like on a Friday, if it wasn't a show, it was pretty like average, I would say. Like the nights were just average, and it would be the same people in there every single Friday, like the same, like people that spend a ton of money on the slots, and like the same old ladies that just come to just people watch and ask.
So it wasn't really a destination for locals to go party at. It was more the gamblers who would.
Yes.
Okay.
So not as and I've seen the pictures of Vista, and it definitely not as cool. Just like a very like center bar at any casino that you've
Yeah.
been to, you know. And I still do that every other month, like once or so, just to kind of mix things up. And now that I'm not there so much, it's not bad because I just go in and you kind of, I don't want to say like expect the worst because that's not how I go into it, but I just go into it with like very low expectations. And then usually like the gig ends up being pretty fun because I get to play stuff that I normally don't play anywhere else.
You know what's funny is there is a center bar that I haven't done it in a little while, but I was doing at Foxwoods. It wasn't run by Big Night, so I was still doing that from time to time. And that gig is much different than Vista. You said you've seen like videos or pictures I posted. Vista's still for an open air casino bar. It is slightly clubby, and we have like lights.
Didn't AM play at Vista? It's been around for a while.
Who was that?
Didn't you AM play at Vista?
I don't think he's ever done Vista, but back in the day, like Rocket Scientists played there. They had Cobra Starship do an appearance. It hasn't been as much celebrities coming through as of late. They more go to Avalon now.
Gotcha.
But I was gonna say a funny thing about the center bar that I do at Foxwoods, which is all right. So I play also at a beach club by me, and that has a very mixed age group there, old and young.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, I get a lot of compliments by both old and young there. And it surprised me sometimes when the older folks give me compliments like that. Then I do the center bar at Foxwoods, which is the same deal, old and young, and they both despise me equally. For some reason in the open air casino bar, DJing for the old and young at Foxwoods is just like, I feel like I just lose every single time I'm there.
It's something about the walls.
Stuff like that is venue dependent though too. Like Drew and I were talking about this yesterday. Like, you know, if you're a DJ and you're a good DJ and you're playing a venue and you're not there that much, you know, once a month, and the rest of the DJs that are playing the venue don't hold it down as good, it does influence the crowd. You know, if you have DJs that are playing that aren't good and people are coming up and just hammering them with requests all night, chances are it's going to be happening to you because that's just used to what they're doing there.
Yeah. Fuse was complaining about getting, you know, an abundance of like requests, and I'm like, oh, what are the other DJs like? They're all younger. That's what I meant.
Yeah, they're all starting. That's what I like to say. They're just getting started.
Well, I mean, maybe their bag's not as deep, and that's why. That's what I meant to say.
You guys have probably learned, like, when it comes to DJ bad behavior kind of stuff, or just talking about the quality of DJs and stuff. Now that you guys have this podcast, you guys have probably learned how sometimes you kind of have to tiptoe around stuff, and you can't be quite as honest as you want to be, because you kind of think the person who, when you're describing this bad behavior, you're like, yeah, there's a good chance this person may hear this and easily figure out who you're talking about. And that's one thing that's tough about doing these podcasts sometimes.
Yeah. And, you know, I think, you know, there's been times in my life where I've acted a certain way or, you know, whatever, but it's like not everything, just because like I was going through like a severe like party phase doesn't mean that like I think that getting fucking blackout drunk and or like, you know, like just being that douchebag DJ is like what you should do all the time, every time you gig. Like,
Of course.
but you know, it's like I've done that. It also happened that I was going through a divorce at that time. You know what I mean? Like, there's life, and then it's like now I'm not, and I'm happily remarried again, and like my life is normal, and I'm not getting blackout every single time I DJ. And most nights I don't even drink, you know, as much anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think sometimes it's like just go do a good job and pay attention and keep your head up and watch what people are responding to and listen.
Hey, At the end of the day, it's a fucking job still. Be grateful you have one.
Right.
We'll still tangent here, but let's actually talk a little music.
As you guys know, we just had JD on here, and we kind of did our music picks in the style of Remix Report, but instead of calling it and ripping off Remix Report completely, we're calling it Between the Beat. And basically,
between the beats.
That's right. And so basically, we're just going to go around and we're each going to pick a song and say what we typically play before it and after it. Now, it doesn't mean it always is that, but it's just an idea to give listeners just to think about the song in a different way if they're not playing it that way. Maybe there's other ways to do things. As resident DJs, it's hard to always get out of the routine of what works for the crowd and keep things fresh. So this is a good way of just helping ourselves out as well.
Yeah, my train of thought by this is to give you guys how I'm playing it and then never do it again. So it's all yours. I'm releasing it to the wild so that I never do it again. I stop fucking doing the same routines.
No, you know what the good thing about doing this, and if you're another DJ who's listening to us talk, is being full-time DJs, we don't often get to go out and hear other DJs play.
Yes.
So this is kind of the next best thing in terms of getting ideas. And I know I listen to you guys do this in other episodes too, and it's I don't even have to copy what you guys do. You guys could say what you do, and that could easily give me or anybody else an idea to do something similar to it, but with a different song. So
100%.
It's awesome to do this.
Yeah. I was just in New York and I saw Even Steve and C-Flow, and man, I was super inspired. I was walked away oh, why am I not doing that? Or that was a good track, or just little tiny baby stuff. It was big takeaways for me. So always trying to learn.
Speaking of Even Steve, I believe it was him on your podcast who said, and this applies to the examples I'm going to give. He said something along the lines of how he feels bad for some of these younger DJs who haven't been collecting music as long as we have. I mean, we've been getting music from the pools for how long?
Right.
And they don't have access. They kind of missed some of the big time edits that have probably been staples in our sets since they came out in the early 2010s.
Yeah.
And now those edits probably sometimes aren't on the pools anymore, or they won't have access to them anymore. So that is one bonus of being in the game for so long, is we've had time to collect some dope edits over the years.
It actually affected me the other day. I mentioned this. I've been slowly transitioning off of video, and so I been getting rid of stuff and moving everything around. And I was looking for something, and I was like, "Fuck, why don't I have that?" And then I tried to find it again, and it was missing. It was nowhere to be found. And I'm like, man, I am grateful for just my catalog of I think it's almost so obvious sometimes, but I realize what you're saying is how many of these DJs don't have some of this stuff that to me is just so obvious that I play edit wise or whatever.
By the way, quick comment on the episode with JD. You guys are just way behind on Tate McRae talking about sports car. We're way past that, and now we're on to Revolving Door.
Okay. Thank God, because sports cars sucked, so it's good. I'm glad we moved it along.
Does it suck? Does it suck? I'm trying to think if I'm thinking about that.
It's the wannabes. It's wannabe buttons from Pussycat Dolls.
Pussycat Dolls. Yes, it sounds just like that song.
Yeah, it's just not as good, but it is what it is.
All right.
Have you guys noticed, going off track again, have you guys noticed with a lot of that stuff, like the Chappel Roan, Sabrina, all that stuff, I feel like it's more divisive, all this new pop that's hitting, where it's only for the girls. Like if you play Taylor Swift, You Belong to Me, you'll have guys singing along, or even Kelly Clarkson, that kind of stuff, or Iconopop. But all this new female top 40 that's popular now, it feels like it's literally only for the girls.
Well, I would say that the Taylor Swift at the time was only for the girls too. It's only that it's become so ingrained at this point in everyone's head that you almost it's like unwritten, right? come on, no guy wants to hear that, but you'll walk by and every guy's like singing it. Like, the wind. It's become so much of a staple in everyday life that it's no longer just that corny girl song. It's, you know, something we all know.
Ashley's brother's 18 and my nieces I have 2 nieces that are 16, so they're close in age, and I think it's so funny what the girls listen to versus what her brother's listening to. Like, he showed me his playlist not too long ago of like what he's listening to, and it's all locker room hip hop, like little
Playboy Cardi.
Yeah, it's like all shit that like none of us are probably playing out. Like, you're like, I'm not gonna fucking play that. Like, it's just locker room hip hop is all I could call it, because it's like when you play it at a bar, it doesn't resonate. People don't know what to do. And it's just funny because it's like, it does make sense with what you're saying, because it's like, yeah, all the girls are listening to this like other stuff and it resonates with them, and they're the ones that do dance. And then all the requests I get from dudes are usually it's stuff that I'm not going to play. It's just funny to me.
Well, I love these tangents, but I've actually been analyzing this a lot lately because at my venue, one of my residencies, I'm play super heavy on the girly sing-along shit, and every now and then, you know, you get a guy's talking shit like, oh man, or the bartender's like, oh, you keep playing the same fucking shit. And I pulled one of the bartenders over one time because I was playing a long hip-hop set. Actually, he came over to me. I was playing a hip-hop set. He's like, fucking finally, bro. And I go, I want you to stand here and look at the dance floor right now. And he's like, it's killing it. And I go, no, everyone just left. It's all fucking dudes. And I said, where are the girls? And he goes, I don't know. From where I stand, it always looks like it's popping. I'm like, no, all the girls are outside. And so the guys are sitting here jerking each other off, upset. And then look, I'll play all the girl song. I played like something cheesy. All of the girls came back. All the guys were happy again. He goes, I'll never comment again. And he walked away and he left me alone. I'm like, yeah, dude, no one wants to hear this shit. Yeah, I understand you want to hear some slow ass hip hop. I get it. I don't like what I'm playing either. But if all the girls leave, none of the guys are coming back either. And then we're all stuck with a bunch of fucking assholes that we don't want to DJ or serve drinks to.
Shout out to DJ Bill Bass. He is a resident at one of the biggest nightclubs in Connecticut. It's called Bar. And I remember he was telling me a story that he was, the DJ booth is upstairs, and he was listening to all the bouncers downstairs talk because he had started the night off with some 90s boom bap hip hop, well, just like while the doors were open and no one was really there. And he heard the bouncers, they're like, yo, how come he doesn't play this every night? You should play this more. And he just told me, he shouted down, he's like, because I don't DJ for the 50-year-old bouncers.
Hey, I got a response. I used to book a bunch of venues, and if I had a new guy on and he goes, man, the bouncers were like, bro, you fucking killed it, I never booked him again, because it told me exactly what you DJ'd. It told me exactly who you are, and I don't need to know much more. You just shot yourself in the foot by telling me that the bouncers thought you were the best guy that came through.
That's
so
hilarious.
Props to you for killing it for the bouncers.
That might be a viral clip right there that gets clipped and posted, Drew.
Oh yeah, my bouncers are gonna love me.
Yeah. Oh man,
clip them.
All right, so we're going to get started. We're going to play this video right here, and then we're going to get started with some picks. Here comes the video here.
Hey Drew and Fuse, it's your girl Britney Spears. This new segment makes you want to sigh, ee-ing. Oh baby, baby, tell me what's between those beats. Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh baby, baby, tell me what's in between those beats.
Okay, so that's our video. And another Drew Pierce production, and we're gonna get into some picks. And Drew, why don't you hit us first with your picks? Right. I know you got some picks already.
We're gonna start off. I'm gonna go. So me and Fuse Mania are listening to the Mark Hoppus biography, the book, the Blink-182 book,
memoir.
And I was memoir, and I was just telling him how did Tom DeLonge just like influence all of the worst singers of all time to just like have careers? So I don't think he's a bad singer. I actually, Tom's one of my favorite singers. And so that leads into my hip hop Tom DeLonge is Fetty Wap.
Hip hop Tom
is
DeLonge.
So, you know, again, it is back in full force, which I shouldn't say back because it was like the 4th single off of it was. I loved the song, but it just didn't ever hit. So Fetty Wap, it's kind of an epic intro that I use. And I re-edited it. I'll put it on the Patreon. I re-edited it to where it's not 8 bars of just him singing. The beats actually come in like halfway through, so it moves along a little bit faster. And so I have a hook only of that. And then from there, I mix in 679. So I guess our track that we're discussing is 679 here and how I mix that. And so Fetty Wap again. Epic intro into Fetty Wap 679, but Phrase and Tails did a blend with Hypnotize, Biggie. Now I wouldn't play this at a younger club, Hypnotize originally, but I swear anytime that beat comes in, it gets a reaction everywhere. Dude, I play it. It just instantly falls off, but it kills.
It kills
once it comes in. And so I play again, and then I play this blend with 679's Hypnotize. The reaction is huge from the Hypnotize. Dune, it comes in at the end of again. And then they've already lost interest. And then the 679 acapella comes in and boom, I got a second reaction. And that kills. I play that out. And then right after that, I followed up with Gas Pedal. And it's the Control redrum, which is the only one I've ever played. It's just kind of like a twerky beat. So it takes it from this like slow hip hop to like more of a twerky song, and it has like a little acapella in the beginning. I ride that on top of the Hypnotize and then come in, and now I'm in twerk. So that's how I do that one.
A question for you guys. Does Hypnotize work for the early 20s crowd for you guys?
No, listen, it only works when the beat comes in. It goes, you know how it comes in, right? Dune. And then it starts coming in. That gets the reaction. The second it's in like bar 2, it's fucking everyone hates you. But that part gets a reaction. So that's what I'm saying is after that comes in and then Fetty Wap starts singing, it's like I got that reaction. And now instead of them flipping me off and hating me, I'm now like into 679 and they're like, all right. And then they're singing along. So they didn't like,
I was just curious.
I didn't lose anything.
I haven't really been playing Hypnotize for the college crowd. The college crowd, they will like Party Up by DMX. Right. In the club, we'll get a reaction. But you know what's funny is both those songs, even in the club, like I feel like I can only play the hook and then they're just bored of it. Same thing with Party Up.
Yeah. Yep. I feel the same way.
I mean,
and it's just funny to me because, you know, it used to be like 10 years ago, headliner DJs, there was arguments on Twitter about playing Notorious B.I.G. Hypnotized. Is it an opening song or is it a fucking headliner? Song, and like it's just funny because it's like neither anymore for me with that crowd at least.
Yeah. Also, I want to talk about Again real quick by Fetty Wap.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I'm kind of starting to do more that I would have never done 10 years ago is I don't feel bad shortening the verse to a song, like making an edit with a shortened verse.
I've done that.
I actually, I think I heard DJ Jason Smith from New York do that with The Motto by Drake back in the day. But I recently made an edit of What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow because that's one of the songs that has like a verse that just drags on forever.
Oh my gosh,
so
yes.
Yeah.
I might actually try to do that with Again by Fetty Wap because that verse just if you are going to play the verse, that just drags on for forever.
It's one that I've just, if someone requests it, I'll play the verse. If the dance floor is like kind of dead and just them playing vibes, I'll play the whole thing. Otherwise, it's only hook. That's all it'll ever get because the verse just, it doesn't do anything. You know, people think they want more of it, but it just never ever works. What I did, I'll make a note of this. I'll put it in the Patreon. But I made the one that I shortened the verse for was, and I don't think this song is canceled, but it's Mo Money, Mo Problems. But I only played the Biggie verse, and I cut down the Biggie verse in half, and no one notices. Yeah, no one notices, and it just plays so much better. So I'll put that on the Patreon.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite DMS edits that I've always played was the Biggie only edit of Mo Money, Mo Problems.
Yeah.
That's the only one to ever play.
Yeah.
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 But I've cut down the verse because I even notice now, even people that like the song, like if I'm doing like a corporate party and they like the song, like that Biggie versus drags, you know?
Right. Right.
It is. I mean, that's something us older guys always talk about, how the younger audience, they don't have the attention span anymore. We're not the first to talk about that, but it's like, we're getting to the point now where this is what we're doing. We're cutting the verses on songs. The hook only isn't the only short edit anymore.
It is crazy.
That's TikTok. You're flipping. You only got 15 seconds, right? I like the verses. Don't get me wrong, but when really these bars, they're 4-hour sets for us, right? But peak hours, 2 hours, you know? So you're trying to cram 2 hours. You're trying to cram fucking years and years of music down 2 hours. So it makes sense when you think about it.
And the whole TikTok thing with like, what's that Lizzo song, About Damn Time, where it's like the TikTok part was the second verse, and even that Nicki Minaj song FTCU, where she says high heels on my tip. That's like the only part of the song that they want to hear. Like just that like 10 seconds.
Right.
So that's where we
use
are.
Use it
now.
as a sample and then like get them hype. You just play it over whatever. And they're like, oh.
So it is wild what I mean, you got to have these short edits in your library now if you really want to make an impact with your crowd.
Facts.
For sure. I was just even on like a call with a wedding couple, and the wedding couple was like, so like, you're not gonna like play the whole song, are you? And I'm like, no, we're good. Like we're gonna be fine. You know, it was just funny.
For the dances for weddings now, like every couple, I want it started here, and then it's usually like I even had one couple that wanted the first dances like to just be like a minute long. Like they're I feel like those are getting shorter and shorter. More couples asking to have theirs cut way down.
I think people feel awkward somewhat with everybody looking at them, but it's like, to me, it's like you have 3 minutes with like your person to like dance, like enjoy the moment, relax. Like
when they give me the minute long thing like that, I say, hey, look, I have no problem doing this, and I'm not going to argue with you. I just want to let you know, if you're gonna go forward with doing this at all, get the picture. If you're gonna rush it, at least make sure you get the picture. In a minute's just not long enough to get the picture. So either don't do it or like make it a little bit longer so that you can get a good picture.
Right. I agree. All right, Jay Spring, let's hear your first pick.
All right. So in my two examples, they're both kind of along the same lines. First, I think the song that's gonna be is it's I don't even know. This one is 2 Chainz featuring Kanye. I think the birthday song.
Yep.
And this to me is one. It's like a necessary song for me. The edit that I made, I probably took a pre-existing edit and just shortened it. It's basically the hook, and then it goes into acapella with like a little clap behind it. It's your birthday.
Yeah.
It's your birthday. Bad bitch contest. That part. And this has been like just such a staple in my set because that acapella out there just allows you to go into almost anything. Right. And I use it for 8 bars. And I'll usually have the first 4 of the 8 just with the clap. And then the next 4, you could put almost anything underneath it. If it's something hot and something that has a recognizable instrumental, it can definitely get you a reaction. And as far as what I played before that, honestly, it doesn't even really matter. A lot of times I'll go from like 2 Chainz. This is the one where I was going to say, I don't even know who sings it. Mercy. Who sings Mercy? It's like Big Sean, 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
I don't even know whose song
Kanye.
it
I think
really
it might be Kanye's, or it's Big Sean or Kanye's.
Okay.
Anyways,
so let's just say I'll play Mercy before as an example, and then I'll go into this birthday song. but it really, I can't stress how much I love having this song with that acapella out like that, because everyone's singing along to the birthday
Yep.
part. And then if you bring something in that's hot underneath it, and I've done it with so many different songs.
Right.
When Bodak Yellow was hot, I'd use that.
Right.
Recently, I would use the Drake and SZA Rich Baby Daddy Gang record,
Yeah.
and people would hear that come in underneath it. And it would get a reaction before the song would actually hit. They'd hear the reaction, or even Jay-Z, Kanye, Paris underneath that.
Right.
But for this example, what I want to use is, and I believe in what you guys were talking about with JD. I think we're all similar in that we like our sets to make sense.
What?
In
It's
talking
weird.
about, I know you were talking about bridge songs and how we use those to kind of
Yeah.
go from genre to genre. And you know what? Not every DJ does it like this. There's guys that'll play any two songs together if they sound okay. And I mean, I don't really knock it. It's definitely not for me. But I've seen it work to some degree before. I think it's strange. But there's definitely DJs who do that, but just we don't.
Yeah.
I just feel like it makes the change not as abrupt, especially when you're playing like to an open format crowd, and like a casino situation where it's like there's a lot more ages in there. It's like if you're going from disco to like, you know, pop or hip hop, you need a transition that makes sense, a bridge track.
See, I will say the one thing about doing it the other way, where when you play any two songs together, is it could lead to a point where you have one part of the crowd into the song you're playing, and if you go totally left field, it could lead to a crazy reaction when the other people hear their song. That's the only positive I could say
Right.
about it. Again, I don't
Right.
DJ that way, but I say all that to say that after birthday song, in this example, I'm going to go into Chappel Roan Hot to Go, which is about as crazy as you can get. But I do use sometimes those acapella loops as a way to break it up from one genre going into the next genre. So if I will play a hip hop set, No Hands into Mercy into Birthday Song and whatever I played before that. And then when it goes to that acapella out, it's your birthday part. I let that acapella out ride with nothing for a second, just the acapella. And then if you bring in that double time Hot to Go underneath it, that gets a really good reaction.
I like it.
Then from there you can go into whatever. I would play like Apati. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Apati.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Apati, or I like the way you
Apate,
kiss
maybe.
me. Apate. Or I like the way you kiss me by Artemis.
Right.
Those songs from the Chappell Roan. So I would go into a different direction from the hip hop I was playing before, but can't stress how much I love that, having a good acapella out to kind of change the vibe, and one that you could pretty much go in any direction afterwards.
Well, to highlight and to add what you're saying is using an acapella out with a recognizable beat is what you said. And I want to just emphasize that, because how many times I go hear DJs play and they're using acapella outs with flat intros.
Yeah.
And maybe if it's like a recognizable flat intro, like fucking Umbrella, maybe, right? But if it when it's just like a flat intro, it's like, bro, you're just ruining everything about it.
And the best part about the birthday song acapella out that I use, and it'll be the same with my next example too, is that there's no key or tone to it.
Right.
It's just rapping.
Right.
So you could do any instrumental. You don't have to worry. Anything goes with it.
Right.
Right. That's always nice.
For all the fledgling rappers that listen to our podcast, I just want to say, just make all your songs that say birthday in it. It's birthday, right? And then you got an instant hit,
right?
Because this song will never go away. It's just like 50 Cent. It's never gone away. We're only playing the birthday part of the song. The rest of it's a rap, you know.
It still bothers me in 50 Cent where he says, "And we don't give a fuck, it's not your birthday." Like, he just ruined the whole thing by saying that.
So good. Funny. All right, Fuse.
All right, so my middle song is, and going off what we just talked about, this is a little transition set I like to do. So my middle song is the Ain't No Mountain High Enough, the DAFS Blend, which is the vocal of Ain't No Mountain High Enough over top of Dua Lipa, Don't Start Now. And a lot of times I like using that at like more events where there's older guests. It doesn't have to be a wedding. It can be like a casino bar. There's a couple bars I play that like the crowd kind of flips as the night goes on, and I like using it as a transition song. So let's say, for example, I'm playing like older music. For this example, I'll use Earth, Wind, and Fire, September. I have the DeVille edit. I play a lot of that. It works good. I've made edits. I have tons of different September edits for different situations, but I like coming into the Ain't No Mountain High Enough DAFS Blend because it segues the old kind of with the new. And then a lot of times if I don't play Don't Start Now out of it and I'm keeping it like kind of poppy, one of the tracks that I like to play out of it is the Wuki Sunshine, the Drew Pierce edit, because it then gets it a little more housey, and then I feel like more comfortable playing something even a more housey out of that. It kind of just is like a natural progression into playing something a little more housey. So that's kind of the way I do that.
I like it.
And that's another thing. When I DJ, and I'm sure you're the same way. Like you mentioned how it's a way to segue into something more housey, and you keep it going from there. There's nothing I hate more than if I'm trying out like new songs and I don't know really the feeling of them yet. And sometimes you can listen to a song on your laptop and prep all you want, but until you actually play it in the club, you don't know how it feels. And when I DJ, I hate when I'm kind of going up and down with the vibe in terms of like how hard the drums hit and stuff and how housey it is. Like, so I'm the same way in that regard too. Like I try to keep it even or build on it. You never want to go like kind of soft and then like something harder after, then back down.
I agree 100%. Yeah. And I agree 100% on, I'll listen to stuff on the computer and I'm like, nah. And then I'll hear somebody else playing a song out. I'm like, oh shit, that's what this sounds like in like the bar or the club. I'm like, fuck, I need to play that. Like,
it actually just happened to me last night when I was playing something that had a little bit. I was playing some older stuff because it was an older crowd at Vista, and I was playing something that had a little bit more energy to it. And then I followed it up with the Chaka Khan version of I'm Every Woman. And I didn't realize like how chill that kind of is compared to what I've been playing. So now I got that in my head for next time I play that.
Love it.
Love it.
Drew,
I wanted to just to add to Fuse's set. I do a very similar set, just sometimes with different remixes. So it's a good picks though. Back to me. I kept this week fairly basic. You know, I think these are all staples in like every week's for most people. And I'm just saying how I mix it. I guess I didn't follow instructions very well, my own instructions, but I'm just saying my 3 songs. I'm not saying which one is the one I'm highlighting. So this is kind of, I'm not big on word plays, so I don't like loop shit and do word plays, but sometimes, you know, I have little combos that invoke a wordplay idea. And so this is an O mix that I used to do on, actually, I think I want to say I started it on a Twitch because we would try and do O blends and like hit O's in the chat. So that I could somehow work into Tarzan Boy. Every set had to have Tarzan Boy in it. And so this was the precursor to my Tarzan Boy set. So it's Beyonce Crazy in Love.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I made an edit. Well, I'll put it on the Patreon. It's just no Jay-Z verse, and I shortened the second chorus of the original
is 10 bars.
Yeah, it's 10 bars. So I shortened it to be just actually 8 bars because it's just something when, you know, I was drinking, I didn't want to overthink about. Do I need to count on that? It's just like, I'm so petty. And then I'll go into Scooter made this really dope Alicia Keys No One.
That is a staple in my sets.
Yeah, it's so good. And it's with Lumity. So I go into that, but I I made it to where it's like I made it a lot shorter where it's just the hook. It's like maybe double hook, or I
So you
can't remember
go
how I
from
did it.
to
And right, yeah, there's your
Wow.
second O, and then out of that, it kind of sort of, it's like Jay was talking about, kind of sort of acapella outs the way I edited it, and then I bring in Nori, Oyo Mikanto comes into so there's the O, and then if you guys really want to get ballsy, Tarzan Boy right after that, and it's just like it's a wrap. I'll even throw my Tarzan Boy edit in the Patreon just so you guys got it.
Both of your singing was so good. I'm scared this video is gonna get flagged. That they're gonna pick it up.
Man, I am the best singer ever. It's so good. That's
I
why.
can't talk.
Man.
All right, Jay, it's your turn.
All right, so this example is kind of the 128 version of my other example. This one's going to be Shots, the NASA edit, and this is an edit I got a long time ago. And also shout out to NASA because I think sometimes he might be a little underrated. I have a lot of his edits he's done over the years, and there are a lot of useful edits that he's done. So
huge shout out to NASA. He's I always get to see him in Vegas every time I'm out there, and yeah, super good guy.
Yeah,
so he did an edit of Shots where it starts out with the "If you feeling drunk, get your hands in the air."
Okay,
and like literally like that edit, just you put that on, just the whole crowd has their hands in the air. Like that's one of those songs almost like that you would use if you had a videographer there, you would tell your videographer, I'm about to play this.
You're gonna want to film now.
Yeah, I actually just did that a few weeks ago to a videographer. He was putting it right before I played it. I saw him kind of take the camera down. I was like, nah, bro, you need to get this. So that's going to be the main
maybe like
one.
a dog collar zappers for like they can put on their wrist, right? And we can just like zap them, and they're like, "Oh, camera back up."
It's that all I do is win. Like 3 times. Shout out to the 3 times guy, Digital Dave. Shout out to him.
3 times guy.
But for Shots in this edit, you could play it pretty much after anything almost. And I guess I'll say sometimes I'll play it after Pitbull, Don't Stop the Party. It goes good after that. And just the way it comes in with this edit is so clutch. And the reason I said it reminds me a little bit of my other example with the birthday song. I always mix out of this with the part where Little John comes in, where he says, if you're not doing shots, get the fuck out the club.
Yeah.
That part.
Right.
And that part, like this is so like DJ like nerd like talk like I think this is like my favorite song to mix out of. Like, oh my god, guys, what's your favorite song to mix out of? Like I really like Shots. But I really think it is like my favorite song to mix out of because there's just like endless possibilities. And that's another one where that Little John part, it's not really in a key or with that much tone to it. So you could play anything out of it. And I actually like to loop the last 4 beats where he says, now let me see your hands up. That's how it ends. And the way it ends there almost reminds me of Be Faithful with the pick it up, pick it up, pick it up part, because it ends like kind of going up and it allows you to play some cool stuff afterwards. You can either mix something underneath and drop it right after that. And it, depending on how you do it, it could work really well. But like I was saying, I loop the last 4 beats where he says, now let me see your hands up. Let me see your hands up. And one thing I'll do is I have a lot of songs that work with that. But I take the Greg Avin remix of Black Eyed Peas, I Got a Feeling, which isn't by any means any crazy remix, but it hits really hard, and the way he did it, he gave it like a little build up. It's true to the original, but it works really well. And it starts with the riff from the song, and underneath that LMFAO part, it sounds really good, and especially with the loop kind of building up underneath that,
right.
the riff from that, it works really good. And that's just the Black Eyed Peas song is one example of many that I use underneath that. And that song has been like a lifesaver for me to go in many different directions.
Yeah. I just want to ask, like, how do you? I want to put it on the Patreon because this is, I'm hoping to bury this for life. But the yeah 3 times, how are you mixing that? Because I still only do it real short. Is the way I've found that I'm doing it.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes, a lot of times, I'll only play the hook. I have an edit. Actually, I'm on my laptop now, so I can actually see. I want to see which edit I play of this. Yeah, 3 times. It's another NASA edit, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I play, and I love the way that it comes in. It comes in with the bridge, I believe.
Yeah, that's how I play it.
And it kills it for me.
I love it. Well, I'll put mine on the Patreon, and then just so I have it for I'll edit this just so I have this for the YouTube. What are the 3 songs we're going with on that for yours? You mentioned a bunch were amazing. I'm just asking like so I could write it down.
So I'll do Pitbull, Don't Stop the Party, into the NASA edit of Shots, into the Greg Avin remix of Black Eyed Peas, I Got a Feeling. And then for the first example, it was Mercy.
Yeah, I got that. I got that.
Oh, you got that one. Okay.
Work at that. All right. Thank you. Dope. That's a ton of great requests there. I mean, that was more than just one. So
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
That's what I like about both my examples, is just that they allow you, those 2 songs allow you to go in a lot of different directions, and if you do it right, you can get a good reaction.
Yes,
from those mixes.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I agree. You need those bridge songs to just go anywhere. I like it.
All right, and I'm last with my pick. I'm gonna go a little hip hop. My actual song that I'm picking is Soulja Boy, "Kiss Me Through the Phone," which gets a huge reaction every time I play it. But I think if you don't play it this way, with the actual little synth part first, the like if you don't play that so it's hearable and noticeable, the song
I was going to ask you if you did that.
Yeah, the song does not work as well, like if you just come in with like a hook first edit. So and it's very the way, so I have an intro edit, but the way I play this intro edit makes it that part hearable, like noticeable to the crowd. So what I do is the first song I play is the Even Steve slam edit of Savage Swing, and it comes in with the Fergie oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and then it comes into the oh shit, shake that ass, don't do it. So there's my good singing skills again. And so when it comes to the chorus, what I do is I'd loop, or I not loop, I put up 1/4 echo, and then I echo right where he says swing, and then when he says swing, you hear that echo, and it echoes right into the and like that's how it comes in so hard. So it's important to like exactly. It's important to note that like I don't think that song works near as much if you're not bringing it in with that part being super noticeable. And it's a very quick edit. Sometimes I'll just play the first hook. Sometimes I'll let it ride to the second one. But we can put that edit on the Patreon, and what I play out of it, and it kind of just depends. I've been playing my friend Slick Nick here in Cincy has been making a lot more edits, and he made a edit of T.I. Whatever You Like. I'm sorry, not T.I. Whatever You Like, and it's just a hook into the bridge, into the hook again, and that's been working for me. I know we talked about that song before, Drew, and you were saying it was kind of not working, but that edit has been working for me, and
Nice.
it's just a way to play like some throwback hip hop. I also like using that Even Steve slam to, like, if I'm playing something up tempo and I just want to get down into some hip hop quick, it's a good way to get back down there.
See, I'll
okay.
actually play Whatever You Like before the Soulja Boy, and I'll just kind of cut it where it says, and you could have wherever you like. Soulja Boy, tell him. Just like, and I always do make it a point to play that. And that's part of being a good DJ is knowing what to play before a song like that, where you can not cut off any phrasing to do that. And you know, another one that's kind of tough is Again by Fetty Wap. You have to find the right song to play after that chorus because of the way that
it kind of drags.
Well, the chorus, I think, kind of overlaps slightly maybe with the one of the verse.
Yep.
So some of those songs are tricky. And it could take a little trial and error before you find a good mix. And when you do find a good one, you probably use it more than once.
Yes.
I just wanted to say how I mix that. I like what you said, but I was in New York because I don't mix it this way. I'm sorry. This is what I saw in New York. I saw C-Flow, and you might hate me for giving away his trick, but it was one that I actually took notes on. So you said we're out watching DJs and we took notes, and this was one that I really took away. Is he put Artemis? I like the way you kissed me under kiss me through the phone, but it just sounded, really? I don't know if it was acapella out. It just caught me. Once I caught it, I was like, what the fuck? That was cool, you know, but it was dope. It was definitely like a left turn where I was like, oh, that was really dope. So shout out to C-Flow for that one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Shout out C-Flow.
And I also always play it with T-Pain, Chris Brown, Kiss Kiss.
Laffy Taffy, Kiss Kiss.
That's my wordplay. I'm big on the word plays, bro. I loop kiss like 1,000 times. Kiss, 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 kiss. And then I echo it as hard as possible. And it goes that kid. And I keep saying kiss until it's overlapping Chris Brown, Kiss Kiss, and T-Pain. And so they're both kissing at the same time. It's like they're just actually kissing, right? So it's like the ultimate kiss wordplay.
Oh,
and then I put Kiss, I Want to Rock and Roll All Night right out of it. So it's just like mind blown with fucking the word and fucking math forums.
Some of those the wordplay videos where they're like exactly what you said. They'll loop the word, like let's say it's kiss. They'll loop kiss trillion times, and then they'll keep it going, and they'll switch to the new song that says kiss, and then they'll keep fading up on the old kiss at the same time and keep it going forever. Those are
I'm not even hating on word plays, but back in my days when I was the opener at a place, I would see a DJ come through and just overly wordplay, and I would sit in the crowd at an empty booth, and I would watch the crowd just completely go, and the whole transition's dead because they're like, it's so fucking obvious, just change the song already. I can't dance anymore because I'm so mad that you're doing this, you know? So
I know
there
exactly
you
what you're talking about.
So yeah, shout out to all my wordplay DJs. There you go.
I love
There's a wordplay for you.
All right, well, that's all we got for today. Unless there's a honorable mention or whatever, the only thing to make it a true remix report is a rant. And so if anyone's got a rant, that's the only thing that we're not. I got a rant.
Giving up.
I could rant.
All right, wait. Are you gonna? You got one, Jay?
Yeah, I'll go after Fuse.
All right, I got one too, so we can all go. So wait, play the video.
All right, wait. Okay,
alley-oop in.
Hey, Drew and Fuse. Peter Griffin calling in. I want to hear what really grinds DJ's gears. You know, besides from Bad Bunny requests from a phone or DJs stealing custom mashups of YMCA and Macarena and using it on their own TikToks. Hey, this week's guest, what grinds your gears?
All right, so I'll go first, and I'm gonna try to make this quick because it's just mind blowing to me. I don't understand the people that really like ridicule the DJ to play something dumb, like when the place is popping. Like I'm talking like everybody's dancing, hands are up in the air, like the whole place, and then you got somebody hassling you to play something dumb. It really just grinds my gears. This past weekend, I was getting people that were doing the cell phone thing, like, and the place was popping, and I'd be like, let me see that. And they would like hand me their phone, and I immediately pulled up their text message, text their mom, and just said, "Hey, I'm annoying the DJ again," and then handed the phone back to him. And I did it 3 separate times. And the first person thought it was hilarious. The second person was so confused.
And did every single person have mom? You just type in mom. Oh my god,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. The second person was so confused and like so weird. Like, and then the third girl was like, "You text my mom." It was crying. and then so then the friend of that girl comes up and goes, "We don't really know why she's crying. We think it's hilarious." And yeah, whatever. Like, but also at the same time, like, it's not that serious, but at the same time, like the whole place is like popping, and it's like I'm doing my thing to like make everybody unified, and you're coming up to me like being like, "You know what? Ignore everybody else. Do exactly what I want." And it's like, you know what? It's kind of shitty of you. Like you deserve to be fucked with a little bit.
Facts.
You know, sometimes I wonder if there's some people who purposely ask for songs that are just borderline songs to try to fuck up my night. Sometimes I used to have a manager at Shrine who would always ask for those like borderline songs, like songs that are probably slightly worse than borderline. Like I think he would ask me to play like OPP, and this is like a bottle service like club, like that's a hip bottle service club. And it's like if a DJ randomly was doing a crazy old school set and slip that in, it's not like the end of the world. But he like always asked for it like every night, trying to get me to play it. I feel like he was just trying to ruin my night by trying to get me to play that song.
And like it's just one of those things where I'm like, I try to have fun, and sometimes Drew and I talk about this. It's like you really have to like let like go of the people that are just like bugging the shit out of you, and like forget they're even there almost, because it can just like people are such assholes anymore that it can just like over consume the thoughts. And then like like I was doing a good job. The place was having fun. Everybody was having fun, you know? And it's like, I don't know. Anyway, that's the end of the rant.
One of the wildest off the wall requests I got was a full packed nightclub. Like you said, everyone's having a good time. And they wanted to hear Walking on Broken Glass because one of their friends just dropped their drink and there was like glass in that like one little corner of it. They wanted the whole club who didn't see their glass get broken to hear that stupid song.
Stop.
Because of that. Yeah.
That's amazing. So good.
That's when you have look at wait, hold up. That's when you have I have it right here. That's when you have the pack of gold stars and you're just like, you peel one off and you're like, you get a gold star for the night. Thank you. All right.
Or text their mother.
Text them.
Is that it? Do you have a quick rant?
Yeah.
Okay, quick. Fuse has to go, so we have to quick it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to talk a little bit about just frustration I'm feeling now with the DJ scene in my area and trying to help a lot of younger DJs. It's tough because I see a lot of them that doing better places than they're ready for. And it's tough there's no DJ who doesn't think they're ready to do a better place. Like there's no DJ who knows their flaws. Like they just don't. And it's tough watching them sometimes get a chance at these better places before they're ready, then burning the bridge. And then by the time that they're actually ready to DJ at that place, they've already burnt that bridge by DJing there before they were ready. And I see this so much now in my area, and it's just I don't know. It's a frustrating time. There's a lot going on now. I've seen there's some of the better clubs. There's some clubs in my area that are struggling a little bit, and they'll look for younger DJs who can bring a crowd now at that point. And it's at the point now where we have some younger DJs who have no business in these clubs DJing there at the best clubs in the area, and they're not even good enough. Some of the entry level positions at lower level clubs won't have these DJs, yet they're doing like the biggest opportunities in the area. And it's just I don't know, I'm just watching this from afar. It's just become a bit of a mess. And
Well, I'll add to it, and I don't want to blame the DJ. It's just as much the venue's fault. Right?
I agree. That's what I was just going to say.
At this point, I'm watching it happen over here, and the venue is just like, oh, they're so desperate to find ways to bring people in that they're willing to just sacrifice everything by throwing some person that brought 10 people on and just ruining the rest of the club,
or
instead of
somebody's
building a real night.
Or somebody's a talent booker who has zero clue of what talent is, and they're just being lazy and just picking people just because they're there, or somebody tells them they're cool. They've done zero research about said person. They don't even go listen to them once they've booked them, and they're in there and they're getting reoccurring gigs because it's just of laziness, basically. So
you know what's funny too is I'm guilty of this too, because I do book a couple of spots, and sometimes I'll see a different club and I know my friend books there, so I'm thinking, all right, my friend put this DJ in there, he must be halfway decent, I'll book him at my spot. Then I find out that my friend thought he was decent because he saw another guy who booked him, and it's like no one's ever really heard him play before. we just assume they're good because they're playing other spots. So
right.
That ends up happening too.
Totally. And I get it. In some situations, you do have to just be like, we're in a pinch. We need somebody. But like when you're like just booking people like a ton and like there's no rhyme or reason, it's just bad all around. It's going to be bad for it's going to make, if you're DJing at that spot, it's going to make your job harder. You need people that are all on the same page is what you really need. Like, I want to provide the best night I possibly can for the venue within what the venue wants. You know, if it's a hip hop venue and you need the best hip hop DJs to play there, you know, if it's an open format venue that, you know, wants to be more on the actual open format, you can't book a guy that just plays hip hop. Like
No, but what if he plays the outfield?
You mean he plays all hip hop, but then he plays the outfield, and that makes him open format.
Or he plays Shabuzi in the middle of it all because he's like, no, it's alternative.
Right.
Yeah. But to summarize what I was saying, I guess where I was going with it is it's just, I feel like in my area now, like the hierarchy of things have just gotten all messed up. It's like there's no order to anything anymore, just about, and it's a little frustrating to watch.
Yeah.
It's the same here. I definitely think that it's venue. I think it's booking. I think it's a scarcity thing. I definitely think there's not as many DJs like us that actually care to research. And it's just funny to me because when I was a young DJ, I wanted to know every DJ that was in my city that I thought was making moves. And now these young DJs don't care to like know anything about that at all. They just think they're John Summit and that everybody should like worship them.
See, you know what? In my area, I think it's actually different because I think they all do know in my area to network. But one thing that I've learned to do is I tell them now, I'm like, network is great, like that we're talking and everything, and I'm down to help you as much as possible. Let me introduce you to this DJ who's on your level, because I think that's important, because if these younger DJs start trying to network with the already established guys, it's like those guys who are already established have been in the game for 10, 15, 20 years. They have all their own friends who they're going to hook up with gigs before they start giving them to these younger guys. It's best these younger guys learn to start building with people that are on their own level. And I don't want people to take anything I just said in my rant, and especially when I talk about hierarchy, as me saying that I'm at a certain level and I don't want any of these younger guys coming to my level. I should be doing like the best spots and they should be down below. I don't mean it like that at all. I just mean like it's been a mess in terms of doing what should happen where they climb the rungs to get to where they are. Now it's like they'll start at rung 3, go down to rung 1, go to 5. It's just it's been a mess.
I don't know how to solve it, but it's definitely an interesting thing, and maybe it's DJ battles to see who's like coming up, and maybe it's just letting. I guess the venue should probably let them open for a good DJ, right? And try and like
that's how
basically
it used to
grow somebody. So I don't know.
That's how it used to be, and now it's just a big mess.
Yeah.
I think everybody's high anymore and nobody actually pays attention to anything. That's just kind of what I think. Like within whatever world you're in, like you go sit down at a restaurant anymore, nobody comes and waits on you for 15 minutes. Then they bring you your food and you're like done with it. And they're like, well, how was your first bite? And you're like, oh, I'm fucking done with it. Like, why didn't you come back sooner? Like, it's just everybody's high.
Sorry to bother you while you're at work, but I was wondering if you could do your job.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. It was a great episode.
Thank you guys again for having me on. I hope your surgery goes well tomorrow.
Yeah, this I won't be able to tell anybody for a couple weeks, but so
you're getting it done right before wedding season really kicks off.
Yeah, I'm just actually sadly it's just the soonest they could get me into the hospital. It's kind of shitty. I'm losing a bunch of work off of it. I'm like, can't we do this on like Sunday or Monday? And it has to be on Wednesday right before everything. Like,
that's because the doctor that's doing your surgery drank on Saturday, and by Wednesday his shakes are finally gone, Drew.
Well, I'm using it as a vacation to get hopped up on fucking subscription meds and watch a bunch of Netflix and sip through a straw. So go me.
All right. Well, that's a lovely ending to this podcast, is Drew taking prescription drugs and melting into his couch. It sounds like a bad episode of like.
Shout out to all the viewers who made it past our sleep, our half-hour sleep before we got to the music.
Right. But all right, that is going to wrap it up for today. Shout out to Jay Spring for being on here. And again, if you guys haven't signed up for the Patreon, go do that. If you haven't signed up for DMS, go do that. And we appreciate all you guys that are listening and tuning in each week. Anytime you want to share or help spread the word of the podcast, we appreciate it. Until next time, see ya.
Peace.